Suzanne.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Harbordale Civic Association General Membership Meeting, November 13, 2024.
Hold on, I'm gonna lower this. I apologize. Can you see it to lower it, or do you want me to?
We're doing some technical stuff. Okay.
There, now it shouldn't echo anymore.
Okay. All right.
You have to talk loud.
We have with us tonight as our guest Jennifer Cashton, who is the principal of the Harbordale Civic Association. I'm the president. The principal of the Harbordale Elementary School, our most beloved school. And she's here tonight because obviously our main attraction tonight is a discussion of the sewer project that will impact the school. And she's already met with the consultants to, work out the details that are specific to the school. But this will be the first time we're seeing this project. And we're very happy to have Christian Jaggard, who is the project manager, and Brent Campbell, who is with Garth Solutions, who will be doing the presentation. Do we have an officer report?
I do. Would you like it now?
Yes, please.
So last month, a little bit busy. I see some new faces. I'm Officer Haggerty. I prefer Carrie. Most of you already know me.
Harry, can you sit here?
Yeah.
So people can see you on the Zoom.
Yes, thank you. There we go.
Mark
Okay.
is in,
Hello.
okay.
Yeah, sorry. Get my glasses out the older you get. Okay, so I have September and October's numbers for you. For September, you guys did really well. You had 2 vehicle burglaries, and everyone in the room, I'm going to ask you what was the common denominator?
The keys are in the car.
Unlocked. So and I guess this is just my experience for being a cop for 20 years. If people would just lock their doors, the crime in the city of Fort Lauderdale would be cut by like 70%. So, and then we had 1 attempted theft. It was the Kias. So if anyone has a Kia or a Hyundai, I still do have clubs that the city is providing. So if you want one, just shoot me an email and we'll get one to you guys.
Okay.
And then we had a theft. Packages were stolen at the 10X apartment building. It was an inside job. They found the guys and arrested them. So that was for the month of September. So now for October, there was 5 vehicle burglaries. So 3 of the 5, the vehicles were left unlocked. There's a shock. The other 2, which is just as bad, is there was a backpack in one left right on the seat. So they smashed the windows, got a computer. And then another one had a gym bag on the front seat. Same thing, smashed the window and got a computer and a bunch of cash. They're claiming $9,500 in cash was also in the center console. So if you're walking around with 10 grand, please do not leave it in your center console. And then there was 2 stolen vehicles. One was a motorcycle. We'll sometimes see upticks in that. The victim didn't do anything wrong. It was just probably taken on a flatbed because he still had the keys. If you have like a golf cart, motorcycle, moped, we always recommend if you've got a backyard you can park it in, or if you can block it in with a larger vehicle, that sometimes helps. And then the other one, it was unfortunate. It was an Uber driver. So it was Uber Eats as he ran up to the house to deliver the food. Bad guy ran and jumped in his running unlocked vehicle. So that does happen. Just be mindful. Like I said, no violent crimes, nothing concerning, no trends, no patterns. The majority of stuff can be solved if you take your stuff out of your car and lock your car.
Food though?
I know. No, they didn't get food. They just got the gentleman's car. The customer did get their food. So yeah, if anyone has a Kia or a Hyundai, we do have clubs for you, and that's it.
Why is it the Kias and the Hyundais? What is
So I'm not trying to teach you all how to steal a car, but if you go on TikTok, there is some young people it's a TikTok, right? Enough said. There is a TikTok challenge going around, and these gangs have figured out it's Kia and a Hyundai how to use a USB port to steal your car. So Kia and Hyundai are both aware of the problem, and they are issuing the recalls. There's millions of them on the road, so they just haven't gotten to everybody. So in the interim, we do have free clubs available. The good old fashioned club from the 90s.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions?
Anyone?
One quick one.
Sure, go ahead.
Somebody who did a hit and run on Los Olas left the wrecked car behind 1315 Miami Road.
Okay.
I called the police, waited 3 hours. No police came.
Yeah.
They called me once, left a number, no phone number other
Mhm.
than the BSO number, which why I got the BSO number. I have no idea without a name, without who to follow up with, an
Yeah.
extension or anything. So those don't count as crime in the neighborhood.
So the ones that we report on, so if that happened at Las Olas, that wouldn't have been considered a crime in Harbordale. And traditionally, like traffic accidents, I'd be here for an hour and a half. But as far as the response time, because this is something that we've heard a lot, so the reason you got a BSO number is they handle our call center now. So it was probably the dispatcher calling you back because there had been such a delay. And what I always tell people is everyone's so polite and they're like, we don't want to bother the police. We don't want to be rude. Be rude. You pay taxes. And if there's a shooting or an armed robbery going on, obviously we're there like that. Hit and run where there's no one's in grave danger or injury, it may take a little longer because it gets stacked
Sure.
like in order of violence. But if you're like, I've been waiting 3 hours, it's
They
unacceptable.
had it towed.
Yeah, and we end up getting it from the tow yard and they end up sorting it out later anyways.
But
But feel free to call back. So the sheriff's office
did.
sends it to us, yeah, and I always tell people, say, ask to speak to a supervisor, because that's what you pay taxes for. We're supposed to be giving you good customer service, and the supervisor may not be aware. They may look at the computer and go, oh, I've got a guy on a lunch break a little too long. He needs to kind of move it
They
and
fled
go.
the scene. They had to pick them up.
Yep.
Definitely, they were drunk. They were staying at the Airbnb next door. and
Yeah.
The police called me, or I'm sorry, a guy called me
Mhm.
from the towing company and said, look, this guy hit and ran somebody on Las Olas. There's probably an injury.
Yeah.
And we need you to be involved. And I said, the police haven't called me, so
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
giving out anything.
So
unless
they
the
would have
police are
turned
involved."
that over to the traffic homicide. So
Okay.
even if it's not a homicide, traffic homicide handles anything with like serious bodily injury where there's a hit and run, and they follow up on the more serious hit and runs where
Okay.
there's not an injury. But like I said, and that goes for
Good.
everybody listening and
Wasn't
stuff
bad.
too. Call back and say, I need to speak to a supervisor, because the supervisor, like I said, will either look at the staffing and go, this guy needs to hurry up, or they can tell you, sorry, man, we just had a homicide. We're gonna be tied up. It's gonna be 6 hours. You know, they'll kind of let you know, but always call for a supervisor.
When she called a tow company to get the car out
Mhm.
of her parking lot so she could use her parking lot.
Yep.
Does she get reimbursed for that?
Yeah,
I
you shouldn't have
actually-
had,
What I did is I signed a contract with the towing company for my 2 deeded spots.
yeah,
So the person that rented him the Corvette will be responsible for the towing fees.
Oh,
Then the guy called me screaming at me, but that's another story.
yeah, it's the owner of the vehicle. So let's say someone parked a car in front of your house and you're like, I need to get to work. Call the tow company and the tow company charges the registered owner of the
Yeah,
vehicle,
and
not the
that
customer.
was
It's good to
signed
know.
up with
You.
the Tow company. of
Yeah.
Corvette.
good to know.
Yeah, and that's the
All
best way to do
Well,
it.
thank you very much, officer.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. We always
I'll be
appreciate
back
you.
if anyone has questions.
Okay, Brent, come on back.
Sure.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to share my screen with this presentation that Brent gave to me. So we'll do share screen. So both the people online and the people in the room will be able to see this presentation. Okay. Desktop. And here it is. Exhibit 1, this is you,
Great.
Lonzo. And okay, let me put this person, the people over here. Okay, and I move you over there. Oh yeah, we'll go to the front. Okay, and then I will try and make this a little smaller so we can get the whole thing in here. You're up,
Sure.
Brett.
All right. So thank you for the introduction, Marilyn. I appreciate it. It's great to be here. Thanks everybody for showing up. The purpose is for us to open up a dialogue between the city and your community regarding this project, and to kind of cover some of the bases, give you a little bit of an overview of what's going to be taking place, give you the opportunity to ask some questions, and yeah, let's jump into it. So as Marilyn already mentioned, we've already opened up a line of communication with the elementary school. We had a meeting with Principal Cashton about a week and a half ago now, and kind of discussed some of the pain points that might develop as far as that goes. But yeah, let's jump right into it.
Alrighty.
Next slide, if you don't mind. So just to give you a little bit of a meeting agenda here, there's going to be a project overview. We'll talk about some of the benefits, the potential impacts of the project and mitigation strategies to lessen the impacts, and then a tentative schedule. And then there will be, like I said, the opportunity for some Q&A at the end.
Next,
So the goal of this project is to enhance the reliability, capacity, and environmental safety of the existing wastewater network.
you keep talking.
The scope of the project is to repair, replace, and upgrade pipelines and related infrastructure that have deteriorated due to the age, environmental conditions, or increased population.
Next slide.
So as far as how your community is going to be affected, there are two different phases that are running through the Harbordale area. Phase A, which is the new installation of 48-inch force main along Southeast 15th Street and Miami Road. So that's what runs right in front of the elementary school to Miami Road, and then takes sort of catty corner up to US 1 and then a left on Davie, I believe. And then the phase B, which is actually due to scheduling probably going to happen before phase A, is running on Southeast 10th Avenue in yellow there. So that is going to be the rehabilitation of the existing 48-inch and 54-inch force mains.
Can I ask you a question? Didn't we just put in the 54-inch
Yeah,
main?
that's what I thought.
So, yeah, the 54-inch that went in recently
Mhm.
is a redundant line to this old line. Because this old line is the original from 50 years ago that broke in Rio Vista in several places. So now we're going back and rehabbing the old line, so we have a true redundant system. So in the future, we can go to one pipe or the other.
Why did they do it at the same
Be
time?
piping out and put a brand new
Yeah.
system in
No,
there.
they never took any of them.
They did.
Yeah,
No, no,
he
not
lives
the
on the
old.
street.
Not the old, but why wouldn't they have done both? That doesn't make sense at the
Yeah,
same
they
time.
dug up the road, the everything, and now they're gonna do it again.
I guess one of my questions is, there's a fairly large, long stretch of the old pipe that you guys don't even have on this map. It runs through Rio Vista down 9th,
Right,
comes over here and goes down 10th Avenue until it picks up where you've got the yellow line here.
that's the
Correct.
brand new guy.
So,
Well, the old line
the
runs
old
that
line,
same,
right, and then the
route,
new
thanks.
line,
Mhm.
the
Uh-huh.
new line was put in
the same route,
the same route.
correct,
So that had our neighborhood torn up for over a year, a large part of it.
correct.
So people are very sensitive to that, particularly me, because I'm here on 10th Avenue where both the old and the new lines are. And now you're saying, forget about the old line in that area. You're building around that now.
Just for the portion that was broken in several locations in that neighborhood.
There was,
So-
we never had a spill in Harbordale
Mhm.
from the old line. That was in Rio Vista.
The broken line was further up.
Right,
Well, the break was, and I'm close to 9th Avenue here, or maybe it's here.
mhm,
But I guess, again, the point is, well, there's two lines that run to here, and down here.
right.
And the new one and an old one that you're abandoning, I mean, at least that
A
piece you're
portion
abandoning,
we
right?
are abandoning.
Okay,
So, but you
Mhm.
said that coming down Miami Road and then 10th Avenue is a 48 and a 54. Isn't that what you just said?
So 48 and 54 is just on the
Yellow.
Southeast 10th Avenue on that yellow
Okay, but
portion there.
I'm telling you that 10th Avenue, didn't 10th Avenue get a new pipe too?
Yes.
it did. So they don't have the new pipe on here. The new pipe runs here, up into Rio Vista.
But it goes all the way down 10th.
All the way down, yeah, all the way down 10th, and then this is the old and the new here,
The old and the new,
old and the
So
new.
the yellow is
Right.
the old and new.
The
right.
yellow is the old and the new, but they're only highlighting the piece that they're gonna rehab, they're not touching.
Rehab.
Correct.
New-
You're not touching the new pipe.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
So-
just curious on, sorry, did anyone else have a question before? Okay, so my question is, why is it, and I just think I asked you that, Kristen, I just want to make sure. So 10th is where the school is, our townhomes are Key West style townhomes there, right down the street on 15. Why is it that, why are we just left out, or is there no need for us? I was curious why it doesn't go all the way down
To the federal highway
to Federal Highway.
on here.
Right, I don't want any problems later for us. because
Right,
you guys
so-
worked it out.
Nobody's hooked up to that line, none of the neighbors are actually.
None of
That's
us?
a huge giant force main pipe that we have smaller lines that run through Harbordale to pick up your sewage, my sewage, you know, that kind
But
of
how old are they and what's being done about those? And is that gonna impact us in any way with any kind of, I wanna say, I'm using backup as it, but where it's not gonna flow properly or, we're gonna have any issues later with our pipes. Why is that not ever in consideration? I'm talking about from the first project. I asked that question. Now I'm
Right.
asking it again because there's a new project. And I feel like that's a part that's always forgotten. Anyway.
So this project specifically is under consent order. So this is because of those breaks that happened in 2019 with the old line. We're mandated to do this redundancy to the new line that was put in. So we have a nickname for this project, the redundant, because the new pipe was the redundant line to the old, and now we're rehabbing and replacing portions of this old line so that we have true redundancy in the system, so that, because this is one of the main arteries of the entire city.
Yeah.
And if anything goes down with one, we need a backup. So that's being
Managed
mandated,
system.
I understand. that.
mandatory. So the other projects that are ancillary are, I'm not sure exactly if they're where they fall in the CIP plan. But things had to switch around to the urgency of getting this done
Sorry,
for
CIP,
community investment plan.
thank you.
Yes, so these are
Mhm.
the 5-year plan that the city has for different projects.
But have they
So we have
taken
to
that
look
into-
up.
Have they taken that into consideration is what I would like to know as a resident.
Yeah,
there.
I can't
I'm sure
answer that
others-
offhand right now,
Can we
but
look into that?
we can look
Okay,
into
thank you.
the community investment plan
Yeah.
and see where it falls.
Can I go back to this map? I see the new red line coming down Miami Road and a portion of 15th Street and connecting up with the yellow. But the red line also goes down Davie Boulevard. Is there more of this project going on? It's just not in our neighborhood.
Correct.
You're gonna be tearing up Davie Boulevard? Oh my God.
At the
So-
same time doing Miami Road. that's
Wow.
Well, there's gonna be so the Miami Road portion as well as Davie are drilling, HDD.
Okay, well, that's
Drilled.
good. The
So
drill.
the only open cut section is 15th Street, only because it's too short to do the drilling.
So you're not opening up or ripping up Miami Road?
Only a pit to launch the drill and then a pit to receive the drill.
Right, Scott can explain that to you. We saw that on 10th Avenue. Was a big hole in one end and a big hole in the other end and everything else was,
Yeah,
well, it was all torn up, but it wasn't torn up, open cut.
right, it minimizes the
Yeah,
impact.
yeah.
That otherwise. would.
All right. So it's just
Feels
15th
like
Street.
southeast stuff.
Yeah, right? The
I'm
ones-
not
not
familiar
as
with that.
disruptive. I don't know why, for example, they took the blacktop off of 10th Avenue, a lot of it for,
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Because they did then, as we said, do the underground,
Mhm.
boring for that. So,
It was all put back. It was expensive to put it
well,
all back.
Yeah.
I hope they don't tear it up again.
And
That's
people's
one-
yards were flooded.
I guess our biggest concern is probably we'll take Miami Road, because that's the longest piece of Arbordale is.
And I live up Miami Road, so.
So you're just gonna have somewhere, do you know where the open pit is for that stretch there?
Yeah,
So,
so I can pitch
so-
in. Hi, everyone. Ernesto Fernandez, the engineering team. Over here, and Ernesto here. So the main intent here, and as you said before, the neighborhood have been very disturbed by the cemetery, so we're trying to stay away from that. But what we're trying to open up the pits here is exactly in this corner right here. I don't know-
You're
I don't
not-
know if
you're
it
not gonna-
shows up on her- It's on this side. I'm sorry, I'm gonna mess with your
Yeah,
computer now.
yeah, go on.
So it's in this corner right here,
Oh, gosh.
and then,
Miami and 15.
right, and then
Yeah.
up here, so we're gonna launch it and receive
Miami
it.
and Davie.
So all, that's the options we have, we cannot do much more than that. And then from Davie, launch it again all the way to Third Avenue. That's the intent we have.
So what's happening, just so Marilyn, to answer your
Mhm.
question, it's going out here to Third, then to
Back up.
downtown, basically.
Mhm.
Well, it's going up north to, all the way to Sixth Street,
And then coming back.
another drill, and then coming back
Okay.
to the old redundant line,
Right.
and then keep rehabbing north all the way to Mill River and.
Oh, I tell you what, a good thing is happening. You're gonna have to replace our pavements. If you're gonna make a hole there, we're gonna get the new stamped
Absolutely,
pavement.
that's the best part.
Right.
That's the best
Now,
part.
speed bumps for us at the same time.
Explain, because I can't see it on this map.
Can I make this bigger?
Part of the roads are gonna actually be torn up.
Oh, I can make it bigger. Here you go. Look at that.
Okay, so where is that intersection? Because we're
So
Oh, yeah.
this is 15. Harbordale Elementary is right here.
Right there.
That's right where we live. No, it's okay, please.
So that's all the elementary school kind of, right? This whole space right there, right in front. So 15, then Miami Road, and this is Davy.
It's between the two pavement circles.
Yes,
That whole area is gonna be dug up.
just one block.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do with the school?
Right.
We can work that out.
Oh,
They're close.
no alarm? No alarm?
Ripped up in that- between those two.
Between those two things.
I thought the road wasn't gonna be. It's not a full road, closure, so partially the road will be open.
Yeah, that's the only place where there'll be an open cut on part of the road.
Okay, so are you ripping up the road, yes or no? Is pavement coming up on Miami Road or is it not?
Portions of it, yes.
Okay, so hundreds of people that live on Miami Road are all gonna be affected. Is it one side of the road, both sides of the road, the entire road? Where are we gonna park? What are we gonna do? Because.
Just a pit.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
this
But
piece
now-
of Miami Road here, and this
It's
piece
a
of
hole.
Miami Road here.
Well, that, no,
That's
you
the-
just said that they're ripping up the pavement.
Well,
That's
to-
there.
To do
right,
the
so-
pits, some of the pavement
Okay,
has
so
to
you're
come up.
not ripping up the rest of
No.
Miami Road.
So
No.
where the open cut is happening,
No, let me make clear, let me make something clear. So we are drilling from this point, from this area right here,
See?
all the way to this area. We are avoiding disrupting all this portion of Miami Road. We're avoiding doing that, it's the main thing. But here, from 10th Avenue to Miami Road is such a short distance that we cannot just drill the same approach we're taking in Miami Road. So we're gonna have to open cut. We're gonna
So we'll
coordinate
Be able
with-
to go down Miami Road. We just won't be able to get out at Davy and.
Right.
Or 15th, we'll have to go out and go all.
All the way around.
You're correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
You're correct. So we're avoiding impacting the school, and what's one of the main things we're here for, to let the community know that this portion right here, we need to coordinate with the school and let them know, they have to let us know when is the best time, what are the best work hours to do it, so we can make it and accommodate everybody.
Sorry, your school's a nightmare. So I can't even get into the neighborhood because all the parents like to park on the road and block them all. And you can't even get down. the
That's
roads when
That's
school lets
every
out.
neighborhood.
Every
I tell you, every school.
Mm.
It's just the way it is. Like my kids all went through the school.
When is the project supposed to be commenced? Brent, I think.
Yeah,
so
we'll
we'll,
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna get to.
Marilyn?
So, yes, wait a minute, Alex, we have a question online. Alex, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to listen. I've been on the phone, but I can't see anything because it's not being shown on your computer.
It's not? We see it on my computer.
Yeah, but what you were just talking about, I could not see. There was no arrow pointing to what you were
Oh,
talking
no,
about.
oh, I see what you're saying. Here, let me do this. There's gonna be a hole here. You see that? Can you see that?
Yeah,
Okay, there's gonna be a hole there. There's not gonna be any construction following this down because it's all gonna be underground.
Mhm.
And then there's gonna be another hole here. Okay? And then this portion is gonna be at least partially cut, open cut.
But you're always gonna have a lane open. on
But
it?
they're gonna
Okay, and-
try and keep a lane open there.
We need it.
and where's the school?
The school's right by where it says street.
We're gonna talk
That's
about
what I thought.
economic impact
Okay.
and how we're
All
gonna
right.
mitigate.
Okay.
And just to be clear now, and then what about the yellow part? I think we're cool with the pink. What happens in the yellow?
So the yellow part is the rehabilitation.
Is it,
That's good.
and so that's gonna be underground?
Mhm.
So
Correct.
that's
Alright.
gonna be mostly underground as well.
So the yellow down 10th Avenue to Federal Highway is underground. Oh,
So
okay.
that won't be open?
Yeah, it'll be manhole.
Some pits.
Some pits,
Yeah,
Much
there's,
smaller, definitely no full
Yeah.
road
no,
footage.
okay.
I'll be
okay.
working
Well, that's
in,
by the
uh,
school.
And where does that end? Where does the yellow end on the south?
just south of 17th Street.
Just south of 17th,
So it's a set, okay.
by Runaway Bay. By Runaway Bay. This is Runaway Bay here, no?
Across 17th.
Oh, no, no, I'm sorry. That's Runaway Bay up there.
And that is.
It's
Freeland County's
almost,
further east. It's east of the, it's over by Eisenhower. That's what LA Fitness area right there.
Oh, Pamela, you're on the line here, Pamela?
yeah, so that's where it makes. the
That's
connect-
by that's by you, that's
Goes
by
to-
Village East. Is there gonna be a hole there at this end at Village East?
Yeah, there will be a hole to make the connection.
Smaller, that's the rehab portion.
Okay, Pam, are you following this? Pam Miller? I'll get her later, because that's her development.
Yes, I'm following it. Sorry, I
Oh.
didn't know how to mute it.
All
right.
Yeah, well, they're gonna vary. All right, so basically, let me explain what the rehab means, what the
Mhm.
yellow portion means.
So
right?
Marilyn, follow him there.
There is an existing, I'm sorry.
So,
Yeah.
no, just go the other way
Yeah,
so
no,
I
no,
can
okay.
see what you're doing.
So right here,
Yeah. mhm.
so the yellow portion is, there's an existing pipeline, as he mentioned, he knows probably better than me. There is an existing pipeline right there, 48 inches in size, right? So the intent is for us to go in and inspect that pipe, make a pit, as you're asking. It's a 40 by 50 feet. And so we're gonna have to do some closures to do that assessment, to be able to enter that pipe, rehabilitate, and not do any major closure, right? The intent is not to be invasive, is to go in, place our access points, and do our assessment and do a rehabilitation of the pipeline, and not do massive excavations. I think that's beneficial for everybody. I would be glad to hear that that's the case. But it's gonna be from here all the way to here. We are not going north of that. We're not going north of 10. We're not touching the cemetery. We're not going down that route. Rio Vista, it's clear. We are not going down.
All right, I'm making a circle right here. All right, you see that circle?
Yeah.
That's right by LA Fitness, and this development right here is Village East. It's 275 townhomes there. That's their own, well, there's another way out. They have a second way out onto Miami Road, but this is the main entrance. Also, there's a new residential development there, a 12-story residential development. I think we got to get you with those people specifically. Pam, perhaps we can arrange a meeting with your homeowners association so these guys can talk more specifically about what's going to happen there. Are you up for that?
Yeah, I think that we can do that. I am not running for the board anymore. But I'm sure we can get you with new board members for the following year
Okay.
to figure that out. And that's actually where they are, is actually that that area between Bistro Mezzaluna and the hotel. That's that street that yellow ends. So it's Village East is the
Oh, you're right. It doesn't go all the way down to Village East. Oh, that's much better.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
really much better.
and it doesn't go where 10X is. You know, there's a little
10X?
bit
No.
shortcut you can go through to get to both the 10X and Village East.
Okay. All right.
What street is that?
Yeah, I can comment on some of the pits. I had one about 5 foot from my front door for a year. I mean, the one that I had was actually a connection point between the old and the new lines. So they had to dig it out. And one day I walked out my front door, literally, there's a guy, 6 feet in the ground. I could reach out and touch him. It's that close. But and this was right on my driveway. I had a circular driveway in front of my house at the time. So they would open that up during the day, and then in the evenings or on weekends, they actually had giant pieces of sheet metal that you could drive on or whatever like that. So they didn't leave open pits all night or anything like that.
This is good.
Pretty good as far as
Yeah. That's
not being in the way, and it was not that big, that didn't affect the travel lane of the roadway. It sort of was in the swale area.
Mhm.
in front of the house.
It's never ideal, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they will be closed every night.
Heather?
The new line avoiding Riverstone? Instead of carrying on?
Yeah, why are they out of this?
You know, comment on that?
So because of the breaks in the past and the sensitivity of being so close to the old line, if any, they're the undergrounding so many utilities in the city. So if let's say FPL goes out there and they get their boring machine, they start to bore, if for any reason they hit both lines next to each other, then there's nowhere else for the sewage to go.
Oh,
So
geez.
we're creating this separation so that we have
A safety.
a safety net plus for additional connections in the future, because we know there's a lot of development happening downtown, and this gives at least a point of connection that will be west of US 1, so that future projects will be easier to connect to it.
So the main intent of this line is to not only, you don't want to have two main assets, one right next to the other. One goes down because of some other contractors drilling, and you hit the two lines by mistake, the city is shut down. So you don't want to have that. You don't want that.
Wait,
Um,
you're doing that.
No, we're
Well,
not.
we're rehabbing the old pipe, so we're creating a pipe essentially within the old pipe.
The 10th Avenue, that's exactly what you're doing, is having.
They're next to each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
But because the Rio Vista,
In Harbordale.
right, because
Right.
the Rio Vista portion broke
Get
6
you.
times.
We don't understand that anywhere else, huh?
Because there were 6 different breaks, there's, the pipe is not,
Salvageable.
salvageable to where they can put a new line within. It's not structurally sound enough. So that portion we have to redo, and rather than redoing it right next to it in that tight little corridor what if we hit it with our own project, the new line?
That's been known to happen.
That is known to happen. So trying to avoid those conflicts and potential risks, we're making the new line a little further west and then coming back to rehab the rest of the line.
But Heather's right, that's right there, they're next to each other.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
that
this is
new
existing pipe already.
The yellow is
It's
the
the
existing
new-
pipe.
It's the new and the existing from what I heard, am I right?
Right.
Scott? I heard it wrong?
That's-
I heard that,
the yellow has got a new line that's already underground. and
Right.
It's got an old line that's already underground,
right, so
they're
they're next
just
to
gonna-
each other.
but they're right next to each other. But the damage has already been done by putting in the new line to the old.
So
line
the
now.
old
That
line's
gives me
gonna
reason
act,
To pause, a lot of reason to pause there, because I hear what you're saying, Heather.
Well, the new line that was put in 2019 is actually way deeper than the original one. And we can't do that again on the cemetery route because FPL and others are in the area already. It's too tight.
it's so narrow. We don't have enough.
And let me add more
space.
to that, right?
Mhm.
This new line right here, the purpose of that is to make connections that are necessary on the west side for redundancy. There are lines on the closer to downtown area that we need to connect to. We're connecting pump stations to that. So
And wonderful,
we have more.
wonderful for new people, wonderful for new development.
I hear you.
But we live here, okay? Not wonderful for us. And I hope the developers are paying for that, because why are we paying for all of this? The developers and those people
They don't-
are gonna reap the rewards of what we're suffering. So we need to make sure that we are taken care of in Harbordale too, not the potential new clients of Fort Lauderdale.
And trust me, that's why
Well,
we're the whole
Trust
team
me,
is
we're
here.
gonna make sure of that.
What is the red line going from east to west? There's a thin red line.
Yeah, what's
That's the outline of the Harbordale community.
Okay, so that's what that is. So nothing's happening to the east of these lines, is what you're saying. So my question is, and I guess you'll get to this, but I know that they're planning to dig up 17th Street at some point again.
You got it
So
wrong.
what is your timing
You
of
got
this?
our
Because since you're gonna
neighborhood
be
wrong.
rerouting people all the way around again. And if 17th Street's gonna be dug up for some reason, we were told at a presentation earlier this year. But when is this all happening? Because I hate to think that you're doing this all at the same time 17th Street is being dug up. Because then we'll have no way to get out of here. So have anybody discussed that with you and what that plan is? So that you could properly coordinate your timing to do this with what's proposed on 17th Street and, mind you, the bypass road that's cutting through, even though it's on the west, it's on the north side of 17th Street. There's construction with bypass going on too. So I don't know when, if anybody's coordinating all of these road construction projects and its impact on Harbordale and this area, because it is a major issue just driving here now without any construction.
I mean, the city, the county and the federal roads never communicate with each other, let's face it, that's why.
Right,
we've had
and
such-
I'd like to hear from you about what is being done to coordinate all of these road projects, digging up roads.
I can. speak
She's
on
involved
this.
with it
Yes,
herself personally.
Hi, Gabrielle Bork, Senior Project Manager with the City of Fort Lauderdale. We have been discussing with Broward County. We are in active communication with them. We speak with them every 2 weeks about the impact of the bypass road and our projects that are happening in these areas. So with Broward County, we've got that covered. With 17th
So would you
Street,
explain to us what that means, covered? I want to hear from you what the timeline is, since you're all speaking together. What is the proposal of the
So
timelines for all of these
We're,
projects?
we're gonna get to the timeline of this project in particular. And what you have to understand is this is a very preliminary
right. that's what I'm
schedule.
saying.
So there hasn't been anything set in stone because these conversations are still going on
Yes,
between the city and county and everyone that's involved.
we're in planning right now.
So that's part of the planning phase, is to coordinate all these efforts to make sure that you guys aren't trapped in
Since you're
your.
preliminary planning, some of this be changing, since it's not set in stone? Was the impression
Are you
I'm
talking about
getting?
the route or the schedule?
But everything,
The route is set in stone.
definitive.
Yeah,
So what we see is what we're gonna get.
basically, yes.
So it's just a question of coordinating,
When?
planning the actual construction phase of this.
Right, right.
With all the other projects
Yes.
that are scheduled to be taking place in
Yes.
this geographic area.
Yes, on a bi-weekly basis, I meet with Broward County and I ask them for their schedule updates so that we can coordinate our projects.
Because you do know that the bypass road, we don't see anything happening with that. So I
Right.
don't know about scheduling with anybody, because nobody keeps any schedule.
I cannot speak on that either
Right.
because I am not getting.
But you're
input
city.
as well.
Yeah, they're not giving us
So
anything
you're
on
not
there.
county, right, you're city of Fort Lauderdale.
Right,
Right.
I think 17th Street is state.
Yes.
yes.
So you have to
It's gonna
put
cause
down
another
that to coordinate with the state DOT as to when they're gonna resurface
Mm-hmm.
17th Street,
That's it.
because that's on the books.
But my understanding is that wouldn't be full road closures.
Doesn't matter, we have to go in and out of the different
For
roads.
the last 3 years, we had one lane in a tunnel, half the time
Mhm.
Third was down.
Understood.
Half the time Andrews was down.
I take the same roads, I know.
Yeah, 35 minutes some days just to get through the
45
tunnel or to
minutes to
get
my
down.
house.
It's less
We're all
than a
going to
mile.
Woodville.
I understand.
This is what we're talking about, and the city never coordinates the state, the county, the city, and federal roads. Enough's enough. It needs to be coordinated.
We are trying to be better about that with our project here.
And I
Okay.
really do want to know about why we're left out. I'm going to follow up on that.
Okay,
This is about a
Please.
big pipe, nothing to do. with
your
the
pipe is
overall-
small
I
pipe.
understand, but
Nothing to do with-
how, what condition are our pipes in?
Right,
Mhm.
so
You
the
know,
city,
that may be
These guys
impacted.
don't have anything to do with
yeah,
it.
the
I
city doesn't do
understand.
lateral connections.
Right, but I still feel like we should be considering how all of that is affecting these old pipes that are ancillary.
And
They
let me
might.
just say one other thing, because of the water treatment plant here, which covers the entire city and then some, other municipalities, my concern is the connections with the new hotel and all the other projects. You know, Pier 66, Bahia Mar, the convention center, the hotel,
The new
the
apartments.
capacity, and now you're talking about doing main sewer lines that are gonna impact that because they're coming from someplace and going someplace else. And I don't know if that's part of what you're working on as well,
Those people are in my bi-weekly.
but we've never gotten a straight answer from anybody, including the city, as to the capacity. We know that we're almost at complete capacity for that water treatment plant. And now you're putting in all these other redundancies and whatever, but I don't see anything happening east of this 10th Avenue, which impacts us because that's the water treatment plant and I live across the street from it. So I'm curious as to how this project is tying into the water treatment plant, those mains, those sewer pipes, those connections. And you're talking about development in, to your point, in other parts of the city,
Right.
and nobody's addressing the capacity limitations right here.
I can assure you that the city is doing those evaluations. I don't know.
But we're still building.
I don't
and
know
we're-
who told you we're almost at capacity, but we are not.
Yeah,
We're not. We have millions of gallons per day. We can still add to the capacity of the plant.
That's not
Yeah.
exactly what we were told, Marilyn, was it? Marilyn knows.
We're bumping,
Yeah.
we're
Are
bumping.
we talking about water treatment or sewage?
Two completely different things. Sewage, sewage, we're bumping. Water we got. Don't worry about water.
Marilyn, could I ask a quick
Yes,
question? I've
Alex,
got to
go ahead.
go.
Online. Alex, go
Uh,
ahead.
Yeah, I've got to go. I'm trying to listen on calls, but I've got to go. My question is, and as you're well aware, we get this odor coming from the sewage or the water treatment plant. And when wind blows the wrong way, it's disgusting. And as the lady was just speaking, and I don't know who it was, but I mean, something's got to be done because it's not working well. And sometimes you go into harbor shops and the stink is atrocious.
Right. So what's happening?
Yeah,
Some-
what's happening?
You know, like a roof leak, the water starts somewhere, ends up somewhere else.
Mhm.
Well, that's what we're looking at. We're not experts. We're not engineers. We're just little simple people that want an answer to our little simple community.
All right.
That's it.
I hear you.
First meeting, guys, first meeting
Yeah.
in
That
January.
might be out of
We're having
scope
Alan
of-
Alan Dodd,
Yeah, they
Director
need
of
to go
Public.
back and tell
I can speak on that.
those people.
For the odor control, that is not our group, but there is a project within the city they are designing it now. It is in very preliminary stages, but there is a project in place for odor control at the GTL wastewater treatment plant.
And I propose that. First
How
meeting
long
in
would that
January.
take?
Well, first meeting in January, we'll have them here. And we'll talk to them about that. How's that?
And we'll take us back to give us our answers.
Mhm.
It's been that way for 20 years.
And then it got better. It was bad for a long time and then it got better and now it's not so good. Can we finish this so we can let these people finish?
Yeah.
Okay,
Marilyn, I got to go. but
okay,
I'll
thank
see
you, Alex.
next meeting.
Yeah, we'll
Thank you.
see. All right, let's continue with this.
All right.
All righty. Next slide. Yeah, it's got to get better.
There we go. So some of the benefits that you're gonna see from this project are extended lifespan of the infrastructure, which will reduce the long-term maintenance costs, improved system reliability, and reduce likelihood of system interruptions due to system failure, environmental protection by preventing leaks, overflows, and contamination of groundwater and surface water, and enhanced public health and you move it right a little bit. I guess.
Yeah. Mhm.
Or- No.
Yeah, yeah.
The slide. Yeah, there we go. Enhance public health and sanitation, ensure the community has access to a safe and reliable wastewater system.
And I want you to know that we're in favor of all of those things. Okay?
We are.
We're
So
definitely
these
in
are,
favor of all
these are
those
the
things.
good things that are coming from this project.
Okay.
So now we're gonna talk a little bit about
Pain we have to go.
some of the pain
through.
points, right?
Mhm.
So some of the things that you're gonna see from a traffic standpoint. There are gonna be some lane closures and detours, especially on the section of 15th where the open cut is gonna be. There's gonna be increased traffic congestion, most likely as a result of those. Construction vehicles are gonna be moving through your community as a result of this project. Pedestrian safety and public transit delays are gonna be factors as well.
You do realize that Southeast 15th Street is the cut through
Right.
for Federal Highway, for 17th Street
So is Miami Road.
and Miami Road too. They're
I
both
can't
the cut
even
through
put
streets.
my
Yeah, we
condo
can't
half
back
the
out.
time
Right.
anymore.
Of our drivers.
So if you cut down on the capacity of 15th Street and Miami Road with the holes, okay? 17th Street's gonna be a nightmare.
Or Cordova and Rio Vista.
Cordova, oh, it's gonna be a nightmare. I don't even want to think about it. Moving along. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
We also add that the county come and give an update on the bypass road.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We'll do all infrastructure.
So my comment to these guys and what they're doing is when you're thinking about your traffic control and think about the cut throughs and the routes around and stuff like that too. Because again, my big concern is by 1 lane 10th Avenue is a cut through street. Matter of fact, there's even Broward, I mean, has a sign that points people to go down that road, which is driving me crazy. But think about where the traffic's gonna go, how it's gonna work, but
Absolutely.
17th Street is where it should be, not in the neighborhood. I mean,
Well,
unfortunately.
Interestingly enough, there was a traffic study done. 80% of the traffic is southbound on Miami Road. 20% of it is northbound on Southeast 10th. That,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
We were backed up 6.5 blocks yesterday. Yeah, 6.5 blocks on South Hartwell on Miami Road.
yeah.
On the south side.
Yeah. It's a-
Yeah.
It's not even,
It's not even raining.
So
not even in high season.
And
It's
it's
not
just,
spring
we've
break.
had so much of this for 3 years with the tunnel with Southeast Third, and now you're coming in and we're gonna have the same problems again. It's not your fault, but it needs to be better coordinated.
Okay,
go to the next.
next slide.
So as we go through this project, we're gonna do our best to manage the problems that are gonna arise. So traffic management plans will be developed and permitted. There will be clear signage, marked detours, and communication with local authorities to ensure that the disruptions are minimized.
Can we talk about transportation plans and MOP plans?
About
Who-
how long this whole project is gonna take. Maybe that will ease some of our anxiety.
That's coming up in the slides.
Okay.
So
It is.
there will be
There we go.
some advance notice of and frequent updates in terms of.
How are we gonna get these frequent updates?
So we're gonna do whatever communication is needed to make sure you guys.
So what are you proposing?
So on
We
the
got
Fort
a
Lauderdale
newsletter?
website, we'll be putting the information on the project. It'll also be a newsletter that'll go out to neighbors. And also on the TAM's website, they have a map, a GIS map that will indicate.
We need to be notified.
And that's-
How would you like to be notified?
What the
How
least
about on
expensive for
all
us.
the civic association, could you notify through the civic association?
Absolutely.
And we can
Yes.
send it out?
Easier for both
Absolutely.
parties, as long
And
as
then
the
that-
mayor-
Right.
just report
And
it.
also-
That'll be part of our,
So he could send out.
Send
communication.
mails
And what
next
about
thing.
all the
And our
associations too?
all of
commissioner-
them along the pipeline,
Yeah.
for sure.
Commissioner should be notified as well.
So he could
Who?
send out his emails.
Right, the commissioner has an
The
email,
commissioner, yes.
the new commissioner
Mhm.
has an email list that he sends out, and he should be blasting as well.
Mhm.
But we will definitely blast out of Harbordale, because I have 300 contacts in Harbordale,
Excellent.
and so we'll just blast it. And
Yes.
they'll be pissed that I do it, but we'll do it.
There's quite a
Anytime we have an
many
update, we'll get it out.
websites that the city puts out. You can't answer tales of them. They're horribly done. So,
How about
and
sometimes?
I read diagrams.
Right, and how about sometimes, a door knocker, tomorrow, you can expect
Mhm.
tomorrow that this street will be closed, or this part of the project will be done. Just hang them on the doors.
Mhm.
Yeah, we get those for other things.
Mm-hmm.
Mancini did that with the last part.
Yes.
They would go around and put in people's mailboxes.
Right, and Mancini was really good on Southeast 10th Street. He was on the street. I want to see you on the
I saw
street
them all the time.
all the time.
Anyways.
Okay, I want to see the project manager. I want to see you, because the things come up.
Mhm, mhm.
You've got a porta potty in front of somebody's, driveway. You can't put the porta potty in front of his driveway. And the only person who can solve that is the guy on the ground who gets the call and says, move the porta potty.
Right.
Okay, so we expect to see your friendly faces. Okay, all right. Electronic signs,
How come we don't have Mancini again for this part of the project? Because he was great.
yeah.
We lost some tracks.
What?
They won the
were
bid,
not selected.
so the bid went out publicly and.
He's got 3 other
Didn't-
jobs, don't worry. He's got so
Mancini
much work, he doesn't know what to
didn't
do.
Apply for this job.
Anyway,
Part of
but
the-
I
or
want to
did
talk
they?
a little bit about the
Oh, they did?
MOPs.
They didn't.
Whoever the company is that you guys get to do the maintenance of traffic, they were the worst. The signs fell down,
Yeah.
they had them in the wrong place. When we had 10th Avenue, the signs were a nightmare. I mean, they didn't put them in the right place. They were sending people around in circles.
I was walking down there and taking the signs myself and moving them into the proper place on
Yeah.
this day.
Just so you know how these things go in
No, it's good to know
reality.
what's-
Going
beware.
the wrong way on
Right.
Southeast Tenth. They had an arrow. They actually had people
Going
Wrong way.
the wrong way.
and wrong way.
Because
Yeah, we don't want that.
they also, one of the projects was taking people, I forget which project it was. Oh, when they did the pipe in front of Grand Avenue, in front of my building, our building.
Mhm.
They had a traffic maintenance plan that had people going through the convention center. And the convention center was under construction. So they were sending people into the construction site of the
Yes.
convention center. I mean, we have stories.
Mhm.
All right, let's keep moving
Well, that's
because we
why
all
wanna
got to get
keep
out
up
of
the
here.
Conversation with you all, because this is.
Oh,
opening
you'll
up
be
the
here, you will be
conversation,
here.
Yeah.
And we'll be in
Maybe in
contact.
another 6 months. Would 6 months be good?
Look,
Will you be
anyway,
Well,
firmer?
we're gonna be going through design phase first. I mean, at certain stages.
You know what?
of
Let me,
design,
let me
we'll
let you
be-
finish.
Yeah,
and
let's-
we'll-
let's
yeah,
get
yeah,
through it.
let's get it
Schedule.
through it. Yeah.
So I think the last point on here was that, the work would be scheduled during off-peak hours to ensure that emergency vehicle access and their, the disruption would be minimized.
And especially with the school, we're looking at the break times.
So noise,
So potential noise impacts, as you know, there's gonna be some construction equipment noise, excavation and demolition, some pipelining, extended work hours, which will be minimized, and vibration that is accompanied from some of the equipment. So some of the mitigation that we would be looking at, so there would be limited hours. Construction activities would be scheduled to reduce disturbance to the community. Regular monitoring of noise levels will be conducted to ensure compliance with local noise regulations. Advanced notice,
and I'll get back to that.
residents and businesses will receive advance notice of high noise activities, so they can plan.
Okay, noise levels, compliance with regulations. You know that construction in the city, you're not supposed to start until 8 o'clock,
Yeah, the contract has them at 8 to 5
8 to 5.
on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Mhm.
If they have to go beyond that for any reason, let's say that once the drilling starts, like, they can't
Can't be
stop.
And stop the drill.
Otherwise it might cave in. So in certain situations, they can request to do it, and we as a city can decide if we allow that or not.
Will you let us know when that happens?
Absolutely.
Because we just went through that with Pier 66,
Mhm.
where they were asking for extended hours and it was outrageous. And
Mhm.
there was a meeting and they scaled it back and we came to an understanding and agreement. But if
Yeah,
there's,
we
you
can
know,
work together with that.
yeah, we can definitely do
We'll
that.
have to
All right,
approve.
moving along.
You said Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What about Tuesday?
Monday,
Thursday?
Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah,
Okay,
Monday through
Monday
Friday.
through
Let's just say
Friday.
Monday through Friday.
All right. Here we go.
So here's
Schedule.
the part that you
Tentative.
guys were
Tentative.
we're chomping at the bit for. The tentative schedule, so, there's actually a note on here that, what's that?
That's next month, winter 2024.
So
So there's a
Sorry,
note here, there's a note, there should be.
there's actually a note on the bottom that,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. So this is pending finalization of the schedule and still needs to be confirmed, right? So right now, the tentative schedule is to start the design and permitting in winter of 2024, extending to spring 2025. The
All right. so-
directional drilling would be summer 25 to fall 25, spring.
So when you
20
say the directional drilling, you're talking about the Miami Road
The
portion.
Miami Road
Mhm.
portion.
Mhm.
And it's not necessarily through fall, it's saying.
Potentially,
Potentially
that's the
fall.
window, that's the
Window.
window, yeah.
To give
Right.
you an idea.
Yeah, sorry, that, I didn't mean to
Yeah, the
imply that it
duration's not
was, yeah.
completely.
It's cool. Like you're doing it during the winter months at the height of tourist season. I don't see that in the place, no winter work. Am I correct?
Just the design and
But
permitting.
you're
Mhm.
stopping, so you're going from the spring of 26 and then you're closing out in the fall. What happens in the summer of 26?
Where's 26?
There's open cut and close
No.
out.
Spring of
Yes,
26.
the
Right, but then
It
it's
ends
summer,
fall, winter and spring.
Right.
it goes through.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So it's a year and a half project minimum,
We finished fall of 26.
assuming that you finish on.
Right, so if you start in summer of 25, you finish in fall of 26? That's the plan? That's the plan.
That's the plan. Tentative.
Right, so summer of 2025, that summer is good for you? Because school is closed in the summer? That would be good. How far along are you on your design and permitting? Can you make summer of
We've
25?
just started.
Oh,
The schedule is to start the summer of 25.
Yeah, Ernest is trying.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm-
Not a
I'm
deadline.
I'm pushing, trust me, I'm working with the city on that.
Okay.
I'm trying my best. And I, you know, the directional drill you're seeing there, directional drills, it takes some time, it takes some effort, you know. Once you start drilling, as you say, we cannot stop. So we, you know, we ask everybody here to be, you know, patient. With the drilling, you have gone through that already with the DMSI, with the Mancinis. So it's a similar operation. We work, in the same fashion, so it's very nice to see. You can go out there and see it outside of the construction site, but, the pipe rehabilitation, we don't expect you to be disturbed by that a lot. It's, as I said before, you're gonna have a pit, you're gonna access that existing pipeline, you're gonna have another pit somewhere else, right? And you're gonna curate it and rehabilitate it in the inside, so you wouldn't have those massive trenches in the middle of the street for the rehabilitation portion, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be that problematic for invasive for your community.
We have photographs from the Mancini job. I should send them out to you.
Send them out to me. Send them
Yeah.
out to me.
Yeah,
I think
because it shows.
How you doing, guys?
Hi.
I haven't spoken too much. I'm Joe D'Alessandro from Lonzo Construction. I represent ownership. Family owns the company, right? So.
Sorry.
No. It's actually a privilege to be standing here in front of you guys because how we see it.
Grandfather.
My grandfather put the original line in back in the eighties.
Yes.
Yes, please sit down. People see.
I see a lot of it going around in circles. I'm being patient. I'm very proud.
Yeah,
there.
they want to see you on Zoom, sorry.
All right, I'm very proud to see how this team has handled this meeting. I see you guys have a lot of questions. I keep hearing Mancini's name. Just a few times. We're competitors of them. We've been competing against them for 56 years. We come from the same part of Michigan as they do. My grandfather came back here in the early 80s, actually put some of this line in with his brothers, immigrants from Italy. So this is a legacy project for us, especially myself. I'm the GC. I hold the license for the company, own some of the company.
Mhm.
So I will be intently watching this project with my own eyes and ears,
Okay.
especially with Grandpa. And Grandpa will
Grandpa's
be out here
watching.
too. He's still around.
Oh, that's nice.
So nice.
And well, and my father. So if there is a porta john in your way,
Yeah,
I will find it.
if we can't back out. we're
Okay.
following you.
Mhm.
But some of your questions of why the line here, why not the line here?
Yes.
You kind of are hindered where the station's at.
Mhm.
Remember, this town's very old, and you guys are very lucky to be here. It's the new Manhattan. Everyone's coming here. I just asked.
Better for worse.
No, don't sell, you can't sell that here.
No, I'm not. I know you don't want to be. I don't live here. I like it here. I work here.
I
I'm
do
very
live here.
grateful to be here and be able to work here. But that's how I see it, because we work all over the state of Florida. A lot of our work is in Dade County, which is an even bigger Manhattan, right?
Never go there.
I don't really like the traffic myself.
Is this timeline, is this just for the project in the Harbordale area, or is this encompassing?
No, that's gonna be the project, the whole project. So Harbordale, so that's some of the questions, like, some of the verbiage that you guys are using, open cuts and trenchless, that's verbiage for us. So open cut to me, this is not an open cut job. This is a trenchless job. The only open cut portions are the connections that I have to make to each line. So those are very minimal, like you said, Scott, the pits.
Right.
You're very, very educated in all this, so I
Yeah, he
appreciate
lived
all.
it. He lived it.
I appreciate all of your comments, and I want to hire you as the PIO. Okay, you did a fantastic job and got everyone to be real
The
comfortable.
reason I'm asking you is because it's a project that goes into the fall of 2026. My question for you is, what part of the project, the time frame for this particular neighborhood, because it goes west of Federal. So how much of this timeline will be
On your side.
on this side? Okay.
What Ernesto, our engineer, was saying is all dependent on permitting. So because that is considered,
But I mean,
new
once
pipe.
it starts.
once it starts,
What are we?
what's that
looking
work
at?
for? 6 months, 8 months for a lot of those work?
Well, 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8
The
months.
open cut portion that we see over there, summer 25 to spring 2026, that's open cut in front of the school. And then going down Miami Road is gonna be all the direction drill, and the direction drill, the horizontal direction drill that you see between summer 2025 and fall. that's gonna be on Miami Road, and starting on Miami Road, not the whole duration, but the, part of it is gonna be on Miami Road.
How long on Miami Road?
It's gonna take us a good.
But
6
your Miami
months.
Road is only a couple pits, and I understand that, but it's not the type of operation I think that you have in your mind. And it all is, we are trying to do as a team is manage expectations, because we understand all the construction going on.
I just know I can't get in and out of the neighborhood easily. That's why I'm asking. All my points are cut off in both directions. So that's why I'm asking. 6 months, 9 months, a year. I just want to know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Alright.
So,
Once they assess
do you
it,
all figure
Yeah.
about 6
Me-
months from now to come back with an update? Or are we still in permitting?
We will be
For that section?
in the permitting phase.
In 6 months.
In 6 months, we'll be, already permitting, for some of it, and that is, we have several phases within the project. Some will go to permitting first, some other will go to permitting later, but we can give you an update on.
But I'm just trying to figure my schedule for next year.
Right.
When would it be appropriate and productive
Right.
to have you guys back when you're ready to do something? I mean, I don't want to do another
Yeah,
planning meeting.
In about 6 months.
In about
6 months?
so you
All
think
right.
next spring.
Reach
Great.
out
In the
to
spring.
her and let her know
So
once we
it may.
pass that phase.
Oh, yeah.
Spring.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
sure
once
you'll
we
keep
reach
me-
a certain stage of
Once we
design,
reach a
Well,
third
November.
stage.
it's like you're
Five,
90%
6.
design, we'll have a much better.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Be able to
All
answer
right.
more detailed questions.
All right.
And we'll have done our investigations,
I
we'll have
understand.
done our soft digs.
Okay.
We'll have known
Continue.
what exactly.
We did the questions.
I
We're
know I did that
done.
all the time. Did you? He's my translator. I know I look Spanish, but I'm not. I wish I was.
Okay, we're good.
It's an
Well, I
elite
want to
group.
thank you guys very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
you again in a little
Thank you.
while.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I wish that my card.
Everybody who has a handout on the reverse side of the map is the contact information. So if you have any questions, comments, anything you feel like needs to be brought to our attention, please make use of those phone numbers, email addresses, etc.
Okay.
Where's
We're
the
gonna be-
drill stand to be, the north end of Miami Road or the?
That's the question for,
We're trying to assess that, we're trying to see what existing facilities they're coming up against, to see the radius, the depth we're gonna be at. So the depth and the radius is gonna dictate which way we're gonna be taking from.
Okay, but that'll be the most disturbing part of the whole thing is where they put this drill.
I was getting there.
Yeah.
I was getting there.
When we
Yeah.
come back in 6 months.
Oh,
we'll-
really?
You'll know? All
Yeah.
right, 6 months.
will know.
Thank you.
A little more
Good
at
night.
that
For
time.
somebody.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank
bye-bye.
you, guys.
We'll see you.
Communication.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, we have, right. So we had a long discussion. There's, two things that are still on the agenda. One is, the election of officers and board members. I sent out an email to all of the members, asking for people who wanted to volunteer to take on the job of being on the board or being an officer. I am delighted to tell you that all of the officers and board members have agreed to go for another year. And there being no other volunteers, then we don't need to have an election because everybody will continue in their current positions. So that's done. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the implementation of HB 1365. And I just want to do a quick showing of a presentation. I'm not going to go through the whole presentation. The city went to did a presentation about the implementation of these homeless initiatives. And the one thing I wanted to show you, I'm not going to go through it. What I'll do is I'll post this presentation on our webpage. Okay, if anybody wants to go through the whole presentation, I want to just show you this map. This map is the current status of people complaining, not complaining, sending in information about people in homeless people on the streets. As you can see, I tried that. There you go. Whoa, what's that gray blob on Harbordale? That's what I was trying to get at. Let me see if I can move this. All right, let's see if I can move it up. Oh, yes, I can. There you go. This is us down here. This is Harbordale. We are probably number 3 in terms of people reporting homelessness. Downtown obviously is number 1. The beach is number 2. If I could get it over, I could get it farther from the beach. The beach is sort of like number 2. And number 3, I think, well, we don't care. I don't have to get back there. It's not important. It's on Los Olas. This is us. This is us. If I could find the, hang on. Yeah, this is our little piece of the world, Harbordale right here. Okay? And I don't know if I can find the, I don't want to take too much time because you can see this for yourselves. That's what I'm trying to find the legend. Where's the legend? Of course, there's no legend. Maybe. Or down on the bottom? No, they probably talked about it when they talked about it and explained the difference between the blues and the blacks. But we are obviously one of the hot spots, as they're calling them hot spots, okay? And so, and that's good. That's good, because I bet you this is Jeffrey Moss down here has been calling up about the people sleeping in the alleys. Have you used the Fix Fort Lauderdale? Have you called in?
I have, but not to report, homeless.
People sleeping?
Not, no, I mean, obviously the breaking and entering.
Yeah.
And squatters, I don't know if squatters count this one.
No, the difference between people messing around on private property is trespass. Remember, we did the trespass thing. This is people on the street, in the parks, any place on the right of way. And so this is the implementation in 1 month. This is just 1 month's worth of people bringing to the city's attention the breadth and scope of the problem.
Could you move your screen a little, just move it to the side, so that we
Me?
can see
Yeah.
what you wrote, like there, yeah, thank you, all the way to the right. Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Yep.
Thank you.
So there have been 123 homeless concerns, approximately 143 service requests for public camping. Those are the people who are like living on the street. Areas of concern include the Fort Lauderdale Beach, Esplanade Park, Riverwalk, and the major thoroughfares, being one of the major thoroughfares that are problematic. So what I'm asking you all is, if this subject is of interest to you, the city is holding a series of town hall meetings where they're explaining what the process is to report homeless issues and what they're going to be doing about it. Okay, I gotta get this down. I gotta get this down. Alrighty. Wait a minute, make it bigger.
Just move your bar up, because that hides it from you, just move that up, the toolbar. Yep, and then you'll find your bar here.
There we go.
Make it bigger.
I gotta make my bar bigger here.
I think you do it over one of these things, makes it bigger for you here.
Oh, sure. There you go. But then I gotta move it down. I got it.
Yeah, you
Alrighty,
got it.
there you go. Okay, public discussions. And the next meeting, that's the point I want to get to. The next meeting is Thursday, November 24th, and it's at the United Way, Broward County, which is on Andrews Avenue. Plenty of parking, easy place to get to. I've been to the first one, and they have everybody there. They have the police, they have the homeless task force, they have all of the people who are involved in implementing whatever the city is going to do to become into compliance with the state law. And the big question is, what's going to happen on January 1st? So this is sort of like the period where we're experimenting and trying to figure out how to do this. But on January 1st, if we don't have a solution, businesses, individuals, and companies, businesses, can start to sue the city of Fort Lauderdale for non-compliance with the law. So.
And it's not quite that simple. I mean,
Okay, you're in the
I'm on
homeless
the
task force. You tell us. Yes.
Amy, can you
But,
come here so we can see?
there's a process.
Yeah.
So it's
Amy,
not
come
just
and-
that-
Amy, will you come and
That's a hot
sit
spot.
so people can see you?
Yeah, okay.
People on.
Well,
That's great.
I thought it was the IRS.
there is a process, and someone has to be, if someone is sleeping in public, but sleeping in public, and an ordinance is city commission that is more stringent than the state law, actually. State law is just overnight. The city does 24 hours a day for sleeping in a public place.
And someone is given a chance to move along, or if there's a place for them to go, they're given an opportunity to go to a place. If they refuse that, then there's also a period of time before they would get arrested. So as far as suing, all that has to happen first before the actual suing. But it's gonna be a big problem.
It is, it is.
Everybody's all up in arms, but it's a worldwide problem. It's really kind of sad. And so our committee is having a meeting with the Affordable Housing Committee, because there's already a lot of stuff in place in Fort Lauderdale to help people. But the problem is, all of it's time limited, and at the end of it, if there isn't a place that someone can afford to live in, it's just gonna start the circle again.
Yeah.
Back on the street and start the whole circle again, and now they have criminalized homelessness.
Yeah.
And because the city of Fort Lauderdale has made it more stringent, it's not very nice. Our committee has said something to me.
Yeah.
Are they gonna use that as?
What?
At one point, they talked about Target being a place.
Oh,
where
the
they could just
parking,
stay-
safe parking.
Safe parking for, I'm sorry, the families that.
There's been a lot of proposals, and I'm not sure about that, if that parking thing is gonna fly. They're talking about a lot of things right now in the
Yeah.
city. There's no funding for this state law, by the way.
By the way.
It's very expensive. If you want to set up little houses or whatever, they're like $50,000 a piece. There's only so many of those you can afford, but they're not even permanent housing.
Yeah.
I understood a guy from Fort Lauderdale actually offered to buy property, and if the city would build tiny homes.
There, a lot of those things, a lot of rumors floating around like
There's
that.
a lot of things about zoning, so that you can have things on your property. There's a lot of things floating around.
Mm.
And,
So if anybody is really interested in this subject matter, this is the one to go to. November 21st, it's at 6 p.m. Those are very good. I was at the first one.
If anybody wants a car.
Okay, so one of the things that is involved in dealing with this homelessness issue is community court. Okay? Community court is probably the best thing we've done in the city of Fort Lauderdale, in my opinion. Well, we've done a lot of good things,
it's a
but
good
community
thing,
courts.
except it ends with the lack of affordable housing.
Right, yeah, that's the truth. But at least if you can get somebody from the street into the community court system, there's a beginning, there's a
And it
process.
keeps them out of becoming a
That's correct. And, oh, it's a lot of working homeless, a lot.
Not working and not having housing.
Oh,
They said they can't afford housing even though they have jobs.
and they have their kids in the car? Yeah.
Because I've done the point out a couple of years in a row, and the first question is, why are you homeless? Because they lost their job or the landlord raised the rent.
Right.
Mm.
That's the
Main thing.
overwhelming reason.
So what we do for our Christmas project or holiday project is we make lunches for community court. We did it last year. It was actually fun
Delicious peanut butter.
and nutritious food. And our date is November 20th to deliver.
The 19th.
No, the date to deliver is the 20th.
Sorry.
So that means on the night of the 19th, in my club room, the night of the 19th, in my club room, we all assemble, I'll make sangria, and we'll make a conga line, and we'll start making the bags. And then in the morning, some of us will take the bags and go to community court and deliver them. But the night of November 19th, put it down on your little calendars, I think we should start around 6:30. It only takes us, when we start clicking, conga line, it only takes us an hour and a half, maximum 2 hours to do it. Okay? So hope I see you all or some of you anyway, on November 19th. Actually,
Miami, I'll
okay,
come.
I'll actually, how many what?
How many of those?
50. We have to make 50.
So we have to bring, everyone donates, right? Like,
No, I go shopping. You want to come shopping with me? We do one big shopping.
I'm actually available because my elections got moved to December.
Terrific. We go shopping, we go to Publix or Costco.
Yeah.
We get all the stuff and it's all sitting there on the 19th. And all we have to do is make a conga line, make the sandwiches, fill the boxes, put the water in, that kind of stuff.
And where is that?
In my house, in my condominium, I'll send the notice out. Okay? You get the emails, right? I'll send it with the address. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. And
you need a
one
motion
more
to-
thing.
the election of them?
No, no, you don't need an election because there's nobody running. Everybody is
Right, but you have to do the motion to accept everyone? I don't want
1,
anything.
2,
to
3,
happen.
4, 5, 6.
Okay,
No?
we're good?
Okay. Oh, and this year we're having our party at Southport Roll Bar again. Buddy is hosting us. So you'll also get a notice about that. I believe it's December 4. Put that in, save the date, December 4 for the party at Southport. All right, is there anything anybody wants to bring up?
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, sorry. It was a little bit hard to hear, but were you guys saying that as of January 1st, it's going to be illegal for homeless people to sleep on public property? Is that what I was hearing?
No, it's not, well, it's illegal now.
Oh, okay.
As of October 1st, but in January, the businesses and people who are concerned about this, individual can sue the city if the city doesn't deal with this problem.
And by dealing,
Come to that meeting, you'll learn all about it. It's fascinating how it works. Okay? All right.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who's online. Appreciate it. As soon as the minutes are available, I'll post them. So good night, everybody.